is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but release the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on?
Yes.
Where's the videotape?
I do think that now.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. With 5 billionaires in Egypt, Egypt has the GDP of Connecticut. How is there a budget to charter private jets to follow Erica and Charlie Kirk? Fly ninjas. FU, what's the difference between United States and Israel? Answer, watermelon? Is that what I see here, amigo? What are you saying, Jimmy? You talking to me right now?
Rick wrote some great jokes for the Tucker segment I just did, and I didn't see them. Sorry. Great job, Rick.
Do you want to show the clip again, just you sitting beside Tucker and do the jokes and add later?
No, that's all right.
Okay. Check out Jimmy's new jacket. Can you say Eric Severide? Almost Severide. Almost Fahey Flinesque, maybe. Never call it a blazer, though. I hate anything that sounds like the blaze. Cheers. Switch it on.
Suit coats and blazers are different things.
Jimmy,
there's a sport coat, there's a blazer, and then there's a suit coat. Those are 3 different things.
James says, Jimmy needs to hire first-class security team. We need to keep Steph safe from Santa Claus this holiday season.
Are there any
James, thank you, James. I appreciate you thinking of me for safety reasons. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Jimmy, did you see the tractors surrounding Parliament in London? That's how protesting is done, baby.
No, I didn't. Thanks for the heads up.
Richard, appreciate it.
Remind me to look into that.
Tim, I'm swimming in cash-filled Zionist pool. D-Trucks. Oh, that took a twist. How much life insurance did Erica cash out with? Mark. The real transition is becoming Erica Vance. Savage. Okay, this is from Flickoff. Image search Building 6, not Building 7. Where did the rubble go? Hashtag dustification.
Okay.
Back to Mr. Jim.
So Trump's poll numbers are cratering. Like cratering. Okay.
Everything's so good.
And it's because he thinks he can his followers will there's a certain percentage of people who voted for Trump who will just go along with that, whatever he says. Even if he says today it's black and tomorrow it's white, they'll go, yeah, well, it's white. It's obviously white. They'll just, no matter what Trump says, they'll go along with it. There's a percentage.
Not as much as he needs.
But there's a bigger percentage of people who aren't. And it's because he won't face the fact that people are actually hurting financially. And what Trump is doing is focusing on Israel, focusing on Iran, focusing on Yemen, focusing on Russia, focusing on China, focusing on Ukraine. And now he's focusing on Venezuela. And he doesn't give a shit about people who are hurting economically. And in fact, he's about to cut their health care. And so when he was asked about, so that's why Mondami won, by the way, because Mondami went to the neighborhoods that voted for Trump, asked them what their concerns were. They were all economic, and he said, I'm going to address them. That's what people thought they were voting for with Trump. Trump's going to be standing up for the forgotten man, the guy who got left behind by this economy. And he's gaslighting you, telling you to shut up. Watch what he said.
Pretty good.
But I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home. And I wonder what grade you would give
A+.
your economy. A+.
Yeah, A++++++.
Well, it's interesting because I talked to a supporter of yours. Her name is Melanie from Westmoreland County, PA.
And she's not having it. And A+++, Mr. President, we can't use your prepaid for Wharton Academy grades as measuring sticks here.
That's true, yeah.
So here is the actual, watch how the guy at CNN, it's like he's the head of Palantir and he's on meth. Watch how excited he gets. But this is real. Watch this. These are real numbers. Watch this.
As you know, Donald Trump put in the best performance for a Republican presidential candidate among young voters since George W. Bush did back in the early 2000s.
So Trump crushed it with young people who have been left behind by this economy, who can't afford a house or a car or their student debt or to anything, their health care, their rent. They can't afford anything. And so they voted for Donald Trump because they trusted him on the economy. And let's watch. That's what happened.
As you know, Donald Trump put in the best performance for a Republican presidential candidate among young voters since George W. Bush did back in the early 2000s. And, you know, he started off his term, his net approval rating among voters under the age of 30 at plus 10 points. Hey, that's pretty gosh darn good. But you come over now, according to CBS News YouGov, this isn't falling into the water. This isn't going underseas. This is going into a deep, dark, black hole. Look at that, minus 46 points. That is a shift on the net approval of 56 points in the wrong direction since February. My goodness gracious, you know I love looking at these swings, looking at how the electorate changes. You rarely ever see swings.
We look at
So hey, maybe tell your people who voted for you because you promised to release the Epstein files that they're weak and they're stupid.
How about the JFK thing that didn't get resolved at all?
How about the JFK thing didn't get resolved? How about the Epstein files? Cover up the Epstein thing, which proves that everybody who's running our government is blackmailed, pedophile. Go ahead, cover that up and see how you're. But guess what it's really about is the economy.
A lot of polls, we almost never see drops this big, this quickly.
Yeah.
Any sense of why? What issues may be driving it?
That's a 56% swing from last year when Trump was elected. That's
Any sense of why, Jimmy? Why this could be? I hate the news I hate them so much. Why could this be?
Well, watch. He's going to tell you, Kurt. Watch.
You know, look, we've been talking about it. You were talking about it last segment with Mr. Matt Egan. It's the economy, stupid. I mean, just take a look here. Age 18 to 29 on Trump and the economy. Back in October of 2024, who did those under the age of 30 trust? Harris or Trump? It was Trump by 10 points, according to the Marquette University Law School poll. Look at where his net approval rating is now on the economy. Minus 52 points, very similar to what we saw in the CBS News YouGov poll in terms of his overall drop in support on the net approval rating, and this minus 52, it's just stunning.
Polling in Israel, that's the real question.
So that's there you go. He's ignoring the economy. He's telling people that the economy is an A++++. And here's what Glenn Greenwald points out. Watch this.
After the 2024 election, instead of screaming, America is full of racists and America is full of sexists, and that's why they didn't vote for Kamala.
So he's talking about how Mamdani won the New York race in New York, the mayor race in New York. He didn't start screaming racist. He didn't call you a white supremacist. He didn't call you a sexist. What did he do?
After the 2024 election, instead of screaming, America is full of racists and America is full of sexists, and that's why they didn't vote for Kamala, he went into the working class neighborhoods, the multiracial working class neighborhoods in New York that most shifted from Democrats to Trump. And there were big shifts in New York City, in non-white working class communities, immigrant communities, to Donald Trump. And he asked why. And they said all economic issues. Some of it was like, what, we're sending all this money to
Israel and
Ukraine. Well, our communities fall apart. Some of it was immigration, but like, why do we give immigrants? Why do we pay for illegal immigrants to have free hotels while we can barely afford houses and housing for our families? And a lot of it was we just can't afford to live here anymore. We can't afford the rent. We can't afford transportation. We can't have health care for our kids, like basic concerns. And he listened to all that and he realized the way to win an election was by addressing people's concerns, and their concerns were affordability.
So the irony here, as Chris Keene has pointed out on this show, the irony is that the same reason people voted for Trump is the same reason they voted for Mamdani, because they had economic issues they wanted somebody in power to acknowledge and work on and address. They thought Trump was going to do that. He said he was going to do that. He said he was the guy for the forgotten man, and he didn't do it. And so that's the irony here, is that people are voting their pocketbooks. They want someone to address it, the affordability. And here's what Trump has to say about affordability.
And that became his sole campaign theme, basically. And they're trying to get Trump to talk about those issues now because of these polling numbers.
So now they're trying to get people around Trump are trying to get him to address the economy because his poll numbers are tanking, and it's bringing down the entire Republican Party, and they're dead in the water for the midterms. So they're trying to get him to address affordability. And let's see what he says.
Now, Trump doesn't care in a sense because he's doesn't have to run again. But if the Democrats take over the House in 2026, it would be very hard, but certainly possible, or the Senate, which is less likely, but depending on how bad things get, also possible, Trump's in a lot of trouble. He could be impeached again. Certainly his agenda would be dead. Nothing but investigations. And so they're trying to get Trump to stop talking about Venezuela and Netanyahu and the military and tariffs, and start talking about affordability. But Trump doesn't seem very persuaded. Here he is at the White House when asked about this.
You know, there's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about affordability. They just say the word. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. They just say it. Affordability. The word affordability is a con job by the Democrats. They say affordable. I watched the other day where some very low IQ congresswoman talked about affordability. She had no idea. But the word affordability is a Democrat scam. They say it, and then they go into the next subject.
Well, that's interesting, because guess who used to talk about affordability when he was trying to get elected? Let's watch.
The other Trump?
Let's watch. The other Trump.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. But the word affordability is a Democrat scam. One of my top priorities will be to quickly defeat inflation and make America affordable again. I don't want to hear about the affordability. We will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. You know, there's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about affordability. Affordability is a con job. We will target everything from car affordability to housing affordability. You know, this whole thing is, they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax.
Wow. A lot of politicians believe in a bipartisan system. Apparently, Trump believes in a bipolar system, because that's what that is.
No, this is well into the territory of Janus, the two-faced Roman god, trickster god.
So, again, there you go. I mean, Trump just thinks he can do this. And again, it works on some of his base. There's some people who are in a cult-like situation with Trump, that no matter what he does or says, you're supposed to support Trump. I'm loyal to Trump. You're not supposed to be loyal to a politician, numbnuts. The politician's supposed to be loyal to you. And when your politician betrays you, you're supposed to call them out and pressure them. And that's not what they're doing. People like Cat Turd and all those people, they're cultists, or they're being paid.
They're probably fake from out of the gate, because I don't see how anyone who pays attention. Look, if you're someone that doesn't pay attention, which is a lot of my friends, then I get how you don't know shit about shit. But these are people that are online all day looking at what's going on. So there's no explanation for that other than you're a paid shill. There's no other explanation.
There it is. You want to see it again? Here.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. But the word affordability is a Democrat scam. One of my top priorities will be to quickly defeat inflation and make America affordable again. I don't want to hear about the affordability. We will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. You know, there's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about affordability. Affordability is a con job. We will target everything from car affordability to housing affordability. You know, this whole thing is, they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax.
Okay, when you see that, I just like when people watch that.
What goes through your mind?
Do you think you live in a real country? Do you think it's not a goddamn mind control thing? I mean, how does it get any clearer than this? That the thing's fake. How do you not see that the whole thing's fake after this?
Everybody in, I think, America was probably overtly or secretly rooting for Trump to succeed. And I was rooting for him to succeed. He's not. He's doing.
Well, I have good news though, Jimmy.
I was hoping that he would do what he campaigned on, what he just said. He's going to make cars affordable, housing affordable, education, healthcare. He's going to make everything more affordable. He's not doing anything. He's making everything. He's ignoring the inflation. He's ignoring how people can't afford stuff. He's ignoring how the tariffs have actually raised the prices of stuff, which we're going to show you in the next segment.
Yeah,
that he's pulling the tariffs away, and they're admitting inside the Trump administration it's because those costs of the tariffs are being passed on to the consumers, the Americans. They're admitting that now, and so that's why they're pulling their tariffs away. So again, this is just gaslighting. In Trump's first term, he had all these problems. He had Russiagate, which was a constant distraction from his agenda, which was a complete hoax. He's right about that. And he's probably right. In a sense, he's right, as Glenn Greenwald pointed out, that the affordability is a bit of a hoax from the Democrats because the Democrats have no ideas how to make things more affordable either. They don't know how to do that.
They're not allowed to.
Right.
We're going to the Venetian city-state system that Bannon talked about.
Yes, Bannon talked about this.
A third-term president for some reason. The oligarchs are taking over. We're going to get the technate. And if you read Ayn Rand, remember John Galt in Atlas Shrugged, the mysterious oligarch who went to an island and meanwhile sabotaged all the countries with his oligarch buddies because the politicians and people are stupid? That's Edmund Rothschild. That was her ex-boyfriend. That's what that's about. And they're doing it in front of your fucking face right now, everyone.
You know what I say?
Shut up.
That's what I say.
I didn't hear it.
Shut up.
You can't hear it?
No.
Oh, Kurt can't hear it, but everybody else can hear it?
Can everybody hear it? I was expecting that is not a joke, but
how come nobody can hear that? Can Andrew hear that? Okay. Why is it Kurt can't hear that? Kurt can hear everything else that comes out of this computer. Oh, it doesn't come out of this computer. That's why.
But the audience heard it is what's important.
Oh, okay.
I like to hear that joke all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Shut up. Hey, Hillary and Trump are on the same side with Israel.
That's right.
Put her in jail, Hillary.
Yep.
Is that dawning on anybody?
Okay, if you like to hear my jokes about this, come see me January 11th. It's a Sunday in Waikiki, Hawaii, Waikiki. And then we'll see you January 30th in Los Angeles at the Comedy Store. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. What?
I forgot. The best news. I know everything seems grim, but Trump's approval rating is 73% with Israeli Jews. Only 23% with the Arabs, but with the Jews.
Oh, doing well. Okay, that's very judicial. Over to Steph.
And like after watching this, of course, we were all hoping that when Trump took office that he'd be that wrecking ball that he said he would be. But now I feel like stop hating your neighbor. If you think your neighbor voted for Kamala or you voted for Trump, stop hating your neighbor. They're just playing us against each other, everybody. That's exactly right. That's all they're doing. Oh, I like this team. I like this team. Kamala's classier. She's the queen. He's the king. He's a despot. Relax. It's just like this chaos that they want to divide us by. Don't let them. Resist
First of all,
much,
your
obey
king
little.
lives in Jerusalem and not in America, number one. You should get that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do a poll. We're going to do a poll on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is who's the country really running our country? Mexico?
Interdimensional trillionaires.
Yeah. Please have Mary AF on. She has a great theory about Charlie Kirk, excellent at dissembling the psyops. Thank you, Ciara. Mark Berthel. Thank you, Mark. Debs. Thank you, Debs, for your generosity. What are you up to, Debs? When Kash Patel... This is from Dano. When Kash Patel doesn't give me a straight answer on anything he investigates, why would I believe him on Charlie Kirk? 9/11. Families don't get this mad at people questioning it.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right.
Dano, did you hear Jimmy say, that's right? That's exactly right. Huh? All right. Susie, nice spelling. Thank you. They paved over the crime scene. I simply cannot get past that. No one should. Exactly.
Well, they will. Hey, sports are on. Fucking idiots.
Stop talking about it. Why are you talking about it?
Oh, all the sports are fixed too, by the way. On top of all that.
But it's just, you decide. Kirk, would you please be Kirk, would you please be Cornelius from Rudolph Claymation for Christmas? Merry Kirpus.
I don't remember who that was.
Dooley.
I didn't watch Christmas.
Yeah, you didn't watch those shows.
We already did a Pussy's Rudolph thing.
Let's see. The New York Times revealed Trump received the equivalent of $1 million annually by the time he graduated from college. Fred Trump funneled money to his son to minimizing gift and estate taxes.
That just sounds like his dad being nice to him to me.
Yeah.
All the people in charge
that's what I think.
No, you're not in the club unless you're from one of them devil families, just so you know. That's the bottom line. And they're all in it together. Even if it looks like they're against each other, they still look at you as the enemy. Don't ever forget that.
Absolutely.
They have their rivalries, but they're the serpent race and you're not, motherfucker.
Yeah,
so don't ever fucking forget that.
It's like Skull and Bones.
No, that's just one of the many Harry Potter divisions of Yale. That's just one.
Right.
There's like ink and fucking snake mouth. There's all kinds of stupid bullshit from these losers. My question is, you don't have to question who it is. You see royalty, right? That everybody still likes for some reason. Why? Why is everybody still cool with that? That's your problem. You're still cool with all this shit that's part of the problem. And then you look for little minute, hey, is Taylor Swift an industry plant? The whole industry, assholes, is an MK Ultra thing. The whole thing, not one or two artists. The one you like, dipshit, that's part of it. The whole thing, get it?
And you know how we talk about, trauma? And I would just look at our nation and think that, they've been traumatized since the 60s when they witnessed all those assassinations.
Those are ceremonies that are part of trauma-based mind control.
Right.
So that's called a King Kill 33 in the Twilight language, which is Kennedy or Elvis, anybody. You have the Twilight, you subliminally put King associated with them. You kill them in front of everybody. That's a message to the masses. The reason they say 33 is to seal the ceremony. It's magic bullshit. I'm sorry to tell you that gay magic is their secret because I hate that, but that's what it is. That's what it is. It's the worst possible reveal ever.
Oh my God.
I mean, what a nightmare to have to sort through that shit. That's what I do. I look through all of it because I'm just dying to understand why none of this makes sense. And then when you realize they're all part of fraternal orders that JFK talked about shortly before he was killed, that we shouldn't have these. And people that I talk to that are smart people go, what's the big deal? They're just in a secret club where they make secret plans. Why is that a problem? I guess if you don't see why it's a problem, how am I going to explain it to you?
This is from Louise on a happy note. Hey, Louise, I'm happy to hear this. I'm unfurloughed. I finally got paid. Love you. Watch Sinners if you haven't yet. Louise, we tried to watch Sinners. We couldn't get through it. It was about vampires, and all of a sudden we checked out.
Yeah, I hated it. Thanks for
Why? Because vampires are boring, or they're too...
Charlie Kirk's neck was made of steel, and the Twin Towers were made of Charlie Neck's bones. Gage Ramsey.
In a way, he was another Twin Tower ceremony because those are the Freemason pillars, Joaquin and Boaz. And he was the signal. We're leaving the previous George Washington thing of land of the free, and we're going to go in the technocratic Noahide state. That's what that was to signal. And they did it at a specific date in a specific place. They always do. And then all those stupid hand signs and numbers, those are to seal the ceremony. That's part of ceremonial bullshit, Harry Potter nonsense that your country runs on.
Okay, come to me.
All right, back to Jimmy.